live from the YouTubes. It's Sunday, and you know what that means? It means we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to wait on everybody joining in on the live chat. What's going on live from the YouTubes? I am so excited to talk about some movies today. Q&A, ask away. Guys, I need you in the chat room. If you want to leave super chats, absolutely. If you want to use that Streamlabs link, I'm going to try to keep an eye on that. If you do leave a Streamlabs link, be sure to I'm seeing some chats already. Be sure to go and let me know in the chat room. That way I make sure I get to all the questions. And again, sometimes we miss some super chats. So if I miss a super chat, just get in the comments and be like, hey, Austin, what are you doing? You got to get to that super chat. So we're going to get through all of these questions, just waiting for everybody to join in. I appreciate you guys for coming today. And hey, this is the first thing we can talk about here. Dune trailer coming soon. Yeah, if you guys missed that announcement earlier on in the week, basically from multiple sources, Timothée Chalamet included, yeah, we are probably getting a Dune trailer this month, which is super exciting. Also, a couple of really cool DC fandom announcements. If you guys missed that video, we talked about all of the potential possible trailers and things coming from there. So a lot of really cool and interesting things. And I see a lot of people talking about this Avengers video game that came out. I am going to attempt to download the beta version and play a little bit of it. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it necessarily, but if that's something that you guys would like to see, definitely let me know. Let me go ahead and add this banner here. That way you guys know what's going on. And if you guys like these live streams every single Sunday, apologies for going a bit earlier this week. I have a couple things to do later on in the day, and I just wanted to see what this time is like. So we're going to do it. We're going to get right to it. And the questions are already pouring in. So let's get right into it. And of course, anytime we get a super chat or a Streamlabs, which I'm going to check on, okay, we're good, then we will pause and answer those for sure. Also, I have a new decoration. You guys notice it's a new camera angle. Well, a lot of things are changing on this channel. Did get some new equipment earlier on in the week. I can't use that for live streams just yet, but we do have a new angle. Also, I need you guys. I got a new decoration. I need some comments. How do you guys feel about my new decoration? If you notice it, and I would love to know about that. But we do have our first super chat, and I want to get to it. Shawshank has returned. I appreciate you, my friend. Hi, Austin. What are your thoughts on some actors whose entire career gets defined by one performance? Oh, wow. Walter White, Hannibal Lecter. I would throw some others. It's tough to put someone like Mark Hamill in that category. It's tough to put someone like, you have these stars who take on these iconic roles. Macaulay Culkin, we've seen it before. But sometimes it's good and bad, because sometimes you look at some of the Harry Potter stars, and my friend Sam and I, we were talking about this last night, and it's difficult to get another role because it's almost like you get typecasted, right? I believe his name Alfonso something from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watched an entire segment on him talking about he couldn't get cast in a movie because everyone saw him as Carlton from Fresh Prince. So, sometimes it's good. It makes your career. It's great monetarily, financially. But in terms of, getting other roles, it can be a difficult thing. But it all comes down to, what are you known for? If you're known for a bad movie, you're most likely going to want to get some more roles in different areas. But if you're known for something great, like Daniel Radcliffe, he's done other things, but like a Harry Potter, then that's not the worst thing in the world. But it's a great question for sure, and some great characters that you mentioned. We do have another super chat that I want to get to before we get into the chat room. McLovin, hello, McLovin. Best score from the 2010s. Social Network. Wow. Overall, I throw Arrival. I throw Blade Runner 2049. I would definitely say Social Network is a great one. Inception, Man of Steel. I love a lot of really some of the Scorsese films. I think Wolf of Wall Street has a great, just the music in general, like the soundtrack in that movie. A movie like Prisoners. A lot of, obviously, I'm repeating kind of the same directors here, but a lot of really great scores to choose from. But again, and I've been mentioning this lately, Johan Johansson, the man who did Arrival, the score for Arrival, is just outstanding. And I'm listening to him pretty constantly. You guys let me know what's going on back there. I feel like something's happening back here. Did you hear like a noise? Yeah, maybe nothing. Anyway, let's get into another question here. All right. Favorite Harry Potter movie? This is a pretty good one. I was talking last night to my friend Sam, Prisoner of Azkaban and Deathly Hallows Part 2. Those are my two favorites. It is so hard to distinguish between the two because they're both such good movies. And you have one that's just like the ultimate finale. And then you have the other one that is just such this well-directed, like all of the elements come together and just a lot of greatness that goes into those two movies. But overall, I mean, the Harry Potter, what's going on here? Hang on. There's some movement at the head. I don't know which head you guys are talking about. Baby Yoda missing? I don't think Baby Yoda's moving at all. Let's see. The head moved. What head are you guys talking about? I'm not really seeing anything. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Baby Yoda is using the Force. I mean, some might be going on back there, but I don't really see anything. Let's keep going. All right, let's see. What else do we got going on here? What do you think of Hamilton? I loved Hamilton. I watched it for the first time. I've never seen I've never seen the actual musical before. Beautiful. It's probably one of the best just stage performances I've ever seen. It's really phenomenal. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to log it on Letterboxd just yet, but I'm definitely going to. Is 3C there? Is 3C in the head? Well, no, it's funny though, because 3C actually gave me this Chucky mask when I went and visited him. My boy. So he might come on here a little bit later just to chat. And he may be on a future live stream, but not this one. Why have you not logged most of the Harry Potters on Letterboxd? It's simple because my wife and I are waiting to go back through and watch all of them as a series together. And now that they're on HBO Max and now that they're on some of the, I think a couple of other platforms, then I'm definitely going to try to get to them. And I will do a Harry Potter logging just bonanza. And I will definitely do some sort of Harry Potter tier list or ranking on this channel because that's part of the goal of what we're doing there. All right, let's see what else we got. Where can we watch DC Fandom? It should just be, I think it's like dcfandom.com. It's going to be live for everyone. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything specific. It's free for everyone on the internet. And I'm sure there will be countless links on Twitter. So a lot of really cool things coming there. We've already talked about it. I'm working on top 5 most hyped possible announcements from DC Fandom. But guys, if you saw that guest list, oh my goodness. A lot of people, that are going to show up that we know about. And then it also said, and more. What does that and more mean? I think maybe Henry Cavill. I think maybe a Michael Keaton. I keep hearing something back here, but I can't figure out what it is.
Hey guys, it's Sam.
Samuel, I thought you left, man. Everybody kept saying that there was movement back there and somebody was in the mask, and I was hearing this whispering. I heard you rasping. There was a raspiness to your voice. You were going.
There's no mouth hole. I can't breathe out of it.
I'm sorry I made you sit there for so long, Samuel. Yeah, man, just make yourself at home, relax. You can hang out back there. We're just going to
relax more than I was just now. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I told him it would be like 5 minutes, but I kept it. How long we've been going? Almost 10 minutes. I appreciate that, man. That was good. That's some good acting there. That was great. Initially, I thought your wife was messing with you. She would sit there for that long. Samuel would have sat there for 30 minutes. For legit 30 minutes if I would have kept that going. But I appreciate it, man. You got some good acting skills going on there. All right. Make yourself at home, hang out, make some coffee, sit there, do some fun things.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep answering some questions now. All right, let's see. We've got a super chat that I do want to hit on from Raj. I'm planning to go on a 45 movie marathon. Oh my god. Yeah, 45 movies. Today Raj, you're speaking my lingo here. Sicario, Get Out, Hell or High Water, La La Land. Oh my goodness. What a marathon that is a great marathon. So out of those four, I would actually have to say La La Land as well. But those are genuinely four. I would say, so we're going to rank these just because it seems like a fun thing to do. I would say La La Land, Hell or High Water, Get Out, Sicario. That would be my ranking, but I think all four movies are fantastic. So that's a great 45 movie binge. Let's go. Andrew just became a $10 Patreon. Been a longtime fan. Thank you, Andrew. How nice is that? My goodness, that's awesome. Well, hey, we're doing live streams on Patreon too. The other night, I kid you not. So what we'll do on Patreon is I'll send out a link so people can join in and actually talk and get on camera and whatnot. I went 3 hours on a live stream, and we had the best of conversations. And a special friend that you're going to see here in just a little bit, a couple of days, we're working on a Discord server together for this channel for Flick Fan Nation. So stay tuned, man, because the ultimate form of communication is coming, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. From Procrastinators, another super chat. Do you think the team up movie could work in the Conjuring universe? Wow, cool. Maybe all the victims are all the monsters trying to defeat something. That is awesome. I love that idea. Yeah, I definitely think it could work. You've got Annabelle, you've got the Nun. I mean, throw in La Llorona because I think a lot of people said that's part of that universe. So that would be sweet. Almost like and granted, I haven't loved all of those movies, but I've liked a good majority of them. I think that could be like a really cool, similar to a Universal Monsters movie type deal, but with some really freaky things going on, because that seems just something that's a lot darker. With the Universal Monsters, at least there's somewhat of a good side. These are just like ghosts and demons. So that would be super cool. I love that idea, Procrastinators. That is awesome. All right, let's see what's going on here in the normal chat room. Let me check Streamlabs. Nothing there. Here's a good one I just talked about the other day. Thoughts on Martin Scorsese's Silence? Yeah, I really like that. And here's my thing with Silence. I think if it would have come out on a Netflix or a streaming service, it would have done, I think compared to what it did do, would have done killer numbers. I still don't think it would have been like top 10 Netflix movies of all time. But it would have done well. It just bombed at the box office. And it's unfortunate because it's a well-done movie, well-paced. I say well-paced, maybe a little slow for some, but I just really enjoyed that type of storytelling and that type of story. Let's do one more before a little thing here. Palm Springs Oscar chances. That is actually really funny. I wouldn't be opposed at all. I think Palm Springs is genuinely, it's my favorite movie of the year. I think it's genuinely a well-made movie. It's a new spin on the Groundhog Day type deal. Andy Samberg giving one of his best performances, maybe his best performance I've ever seen. I don't know. I mean, at this point, Oscar chances probably low because we're probably going to get a lot more Oscar stuff over the next couple of months. But you look at what we've had so far. I mean, if the Oscars were tomorrow, then I think it'd definitely have a shot. Unfortunately, they're not going to be. We're going to get a couple months in 2021 because they pushed it back. So I don't think the Oscar chances are high. But again, doesn't matter because it's my favorite movie of the year so far, and I think it's great. Do have another super chat, though, from, here we go. Yes, Austin, what is your opinion on the most overrated film from the following directors? Spielberg, ouch. Nolan, Fincher, oh my goodness. Off the top of my head, overrated film from Spielberg, I would say maybe The Post. And I didn't hate The Post. I just didn't know if it was Oscar worthy compared to some of those other movies. And also, Samuel, Jurassic Park 2, maybe?
Oh, I agree on that.
Do you agree on that one?
World?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Way overrated.
Okay.
Like it.
Okay, good. Because, well, and not that it's like people are in love with that movie or whatnot, but I do know some really hardcore fans are like, oh, The Lost World's really good. So I guess I wouldn't even use the word overrated. I would say it's just not up to par with the rest of his filmmaking. Nolan's tough because I genuinely love, oh gosh, I don't know if I have an overrated movie. I would have said Interstellar way back when, but that movie grows on me. I mean, maybe Insomnia, but I don't think Insomnia is, I think it's just kind of rated with Insomnia. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. Fincher, I mean, I'm not going to say Alien 3 because that's not, it wouldn't be overrated. It's just not a good movie. Fincher's tough, man. Fincher's tough. Maybe No, I didn't like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as much as everyone else, but I still thought it was a great movie. So those two are genuinely tough. But man, that is a tough thing to do, for sure. See, Insomnia is way underrated. That's what I'm saying. Like, Insomnia is just kind of, for me, it's just rated. It's just rated. You know what I mean? It's hard to say it's overrated, but definitely the post for Spielberg would be there. But it's a great question nonetheless. It's a great question. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I used to be kind of down here on Interstellar. Not down here. I gave it an 8 when I first saw it, but now I'm like 9, one of the best movies of that year. Like, I love Interstellar because it's just really grown on me as we've progressed. Let's do one more question really quick, and then we'll talk about something. Well, this is easy. Thoughts on Nolan film Tenet? I have not. I've went nowhere in terms of my whether I'm less excited, more excited. I'm the same amount of excited as I have been all year, and that is the fact that this is my second most anticipated movie of the year. It's going to be something else, and just seeing those early type reactions from those that have seen it with the pre IMAX stuff gets me even more excited, guys. I am overly thrilled, overly pumped for this film, and I cannot wait to see what happens with it, guys. It's going to be awesome. Austin, which is your favorite horror movie? Ghost Demon. For me, it's Bathsheba from The Conjuring. Ooh, that's a good one. Never have I been so terrified of a face more. Can you guys remember what? Can you guys remember what the name of the demon in? Not Sinister, Insidious. What's the name of that demon in Insidious? Sam, do you remember what the name of the demon is in Insidious? It's like, it looks like the devil. It looks like Darth Maul. That scared me to death. Genuinely scared me to death. So that's probably one of the scariest ones I've ever seen. Also from Samuel Prater. Wow, that guy in the green shirt is beyond sexy. I wonder who sent that in. All right, thoughts on, this is a good one. Thoughts on Zack Snyder. I like Zack Snyder a lot. I do think some of his movies just aren't maybe as up to par as you would want them to be. So I like 300. I'm not like crazy over 300, but I like it a lot. I've come to appreciate Watchmen a lot more. Man of Steel, y'all know where I fall on Man of Steel. Batman v Superman, the original cut, and some of the, but you have his zombie, and he's got this new movie coming out on Netflix that I'm very curious about. Genuinely curious. I think it could be something really special. Maybe not the most, again, the issue with his movies are normally the scripts, but visually and like stylistically, he's one of the coolest filmmakers out there in terms of the looks of his movies. Here's going, Alex Lopez. Hey, Austin, thanks for recommending Sing Street. I thought it's a beautiful and sweet movie, and that ending is touching. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm so glad you took that recommendation. And anyone who wants a good, sweet, brother-centric story in Sing Street, I think that is definitely the movie that I would recommend. Let's see. Oh, by the way, there's something that I'm working on really quick. It's future down the line. It involves like a little game show type of deal that and you see this is Satan's Big Toe. I don't know if you've ever it's the world's hottest lollipop. And then we're also working on another game. We're going to bring some games to this channel involving movie trivia and maybe a little bit of Rotten Tomatoes scores. It's Bean Boozled. It's the hottest Bean Boozled beans of all time, jelly beans. So just a couple really fun, cool announcements of I'm trying some different things on this channel. So I just noticed the man in the background. I told Sam to just hang out, do what he does. If he's doing some random stuff, I mean, that's okay. I don't know what he's doing back there because I'm not actually looking at the screen. So whatever he does, you guys just let me know, okay?
He doesn't give me much attention anymore.
I don't. I stopped paying attention to him a long time ago. All right, let's get back into some questionos. By the way, if you guys have not only super chats, because I know that's the thing, but if you have some Streamlabs as well, that link is in the description to ask questions. But again, super chat is probably the easiest way to ask questions and make sure that I get to them. All right, let's see. Did you see the new Steppenwolf image? Yes, I got a glimpse of it, but I didn't get a good detailed look. It was just scrolling. I was scrolling past Twitter just because I was a bit busy. I need to go look at it a bit more in depth and see what it actually looks like before I critique it and criticize it. But I am excited because anything's I don't know, anything's got to be better than what we saw in that actual movie. So I need to go get a good detailed look. All right, your own new superhero origin story. Oh, make one up off the spot. Sam, do you have a superhero origin story that we can make up?
Yes, man had an accident at a carnival, came back stronger.
A man had an accident at a carnival. So what is he, Carnival Man?
Yeah, he can turn into a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster.
He turns. So yes, Carnival Man turns into a Ferris wheel. That is his superpower. Yeah, that's a tough one because at this point it's like there are so many origin stories and superheroes. It's hard to kind of come up with a new one. But I do like that Carnival Man idea where a man turns into a Ferris wheel. Let's see. Here's a good one. Apple Plus, something that I honestly haven't hit on this channel all that much. If you have Apple TV, I do. Have you watched Central Park? No, I haven't. It has a lot of the Hamilton cast and was created by Lauren from Bob's Burgers. I didn't know that. No, so that's one that I just decided to I haven't watched. I haven't seen it. I did see Defending Jacob. I didn't review it on this channel. I loved that series. I finally finished The Morning Show. I enjoyed that series. Greyhound, I thought was a pretty good movie. So there's some pretty solid content on Apple Plus, but that's part of the problem is Apple Plus is like just not a lot of people know about Apple Plus, as much as I think should, or at least some of the content on there. So yeah, Defending Jacob is probably the best thing I've seen on there. Alex Lopez. I think Bad Times at the El Royale is underrated, but it's one of the better movies of 2018. Interesting. The cast is so good and everyone, still the show soundtrack is so good. Yeah, listen, I liked that movie. It's like a, what you could say this about that director in general. It's like a lighter Quentin Tarantino film. That's it. From the dialogue to just kind of the story and the mystery aspect of it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I do think there were some things there that could have been worked on and essentially made a bit better, but overall, I think Bad Times at the El Royale was a good movie, especially for that year when there weren't a lot of great, what are your thoughts on facing Walter Knight? Also, your favorite villain? It's gotta be Gus, right? I don't know how you don't go with Gus. I don't know how you don't go with, just that scene when he's walking and the guns are flying past, the bullets are flying past him. And that was to me, it wasn't the introduction, but it was kind of like, I know this guy is the most BA bad guy. But that's Giancarlo Esposito in general, right? He's in Mandalorian. He's in The Boys. He is just a good villain. So I don't know how you don't go with Gus. There's no negative things I have to say about any scene in Breaking Bad. So in terms of my thoughts, literally everything in Breaking Bad I think is almost perfect. And I hate to not give you a different answer than Gus because that's just such an easy answer. But it's Gus. And I ain't going to spoil anything, but the last few things that we see from Gus, what a way. And I won't finish that sentence, but just what a way in case you haven't seen Breaking Bad. My goodness. And speaking of Breaking Bad, do you think Better Call Saul is on the same level as Breaking Bad, or do you think it's not as successful? I think in terms of viewership, maybe it's not as successful. But in terms of quality, I think at the end of the day, when we compare both shows, I'm still going to prefer Breaking Bad. But in terms of quality alone, Better Call Saul is a high quality, incredibly made, beautifully directed character study of a show that expands upon the characters that we know from Breaking Bad, and it gives fans, I think, everything that they're going to want, right? So Better Call Saul is a great show, but again, viewership, I just don't think it's never going to be on that level of popularity of Breaking Bad, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, and this is perfect. Breaking Bad is like the Citizen Kane of television. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the greatest show of all time. I think Game of Thrones was getting there, and then we talked about it last night. The last season just, it didn't ruin it. I still love what I loved, but in terms of the overall scope of the show, yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. Let's see. Let's see. I want to find a good question here. Austin, do you watch anime? Yeah, I do. I do watch anime. I don't tend to review it as often. I get to some new shows and movies sometimes on Netflix, but if it's something that you all call for, but the problem is I have reviewed a couple of anime things on my channel before, and the reception, not always, but has sometimes been a bit lackluster, right, in comparison to some of my other videos. So, but I do love anime. Attack on Titan, we were talking about this last night. Full Metal Alchemist was great. One Punch Man, obviously, is incredible, especially season one. One Punch. Sam, what were some of the other shows we were talking about last night? Seven Deadly Sins. Yes, that's a very good show that I recently watched for the first time. And then a few things on Netflix as well, like Netflix original animes that I thought are pretty good, and a couple that I've reviewed, so you can go check those out. But yeah, I'm a big anime fan, of course. Which one? This one. Sam, where would you fall on that? I prefer The Last Airbender, but it is a lot closer than it should be. Same with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we were talking about Dragon Prince, and it's a great show. I mean, Dragon Prince reminds me so much of Avatar in terms of the lore, the characters, even the voice work. In a sense, it's a very good comparison to make. It's not random at all. So, Dragon Prince versus Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would most definitely say it's close, but I got to give the edge to Avatar because that is one of my favorite shows. It is. We grew up with it. And it's so cool to see it rejuvenated on Netflix now. Like Netflix has breathed new life. I think it's the longest running top 10 show maybe Netflix has ever had since they introduced the top 10 feature. So it's really cool, man. It's really cool. Let's see, Austin. Here's a good one. What's your opinion on Castlevania? Another great Netflix anime, stylistic vampire show that takes the Dracula lore and then progresses through the next couple of seasons and almost goes away from that and brings us something completely new. And then, of course, being based on prior source material, yeah, Castlevania is a great show on Netflix. And I've thoroughly enjoyed all of the seasons so far. I think the last season was 2019, which is why I didn't include it on my 2020 list. But yeah, Castlevania is pretty great. I saw a Pixar question that I want to get to. Let's see. Here we go. Favorite Pixar ending. I would say Toy Story 3. Yeah. Is that yours too?
Yeah.
I would say Toy Story 3 because there's no boundaries of emotion that Toy Story 3, like, you will laugh, you will cry, you will get angry that Andy Lee, you know what I mean? Just Toy Story 3 is incredible, man. I loved it so much. Yeah, I'd say Toy Story 3, but you have, oh gosh, guys, so many. I thought the ending to Wall-E was really good. I thought the ending to Ratatouille was really good and emotional. The first Incredibles was just super entertaining. Like a lot of great Pixar endings. Monsters Inc. That's another one. When he sees Boo, and she goes, I think she says Kitty at the end, and he smiles. Dude, my little heart can't take it. It's so good. Raj says, who is your favorite Batman? For me, it will always be Christian Bale. I love his over-the-top Batman voice. Where are they? Where are they? Yeah, mine's got to be Christian Bale. Although I think there's something to like about most of them. I think Michael Keaton really captured the essence of what Batman used to be. And you could say the same for the OG 1960s Adam West Batman, of what that Batman was, right? I think Ben Affleck was really good. Really, I mean, he used to be underrated. Not anymore, because I think a lot of people are Team Batfleck now. But Christian Bale's by far my favorite. I think he's had the best balance of Batman and Bruce Wayne. I don't mind his over-the-top voice because it was just a different kind of spin on the character, even though it was a little over the top at times. And he progressively got, like in the first movie, it's like, I'm Batman. And in the third movie, it's like, I'm Batman. And it's like, but again, we can mimic that because it's fun. Thoughts on The Boys season 2? Can't say anything yet, but I can't say anything. Thoughts on Silver Linings Playbook? I love that movie. It's a really good movie from that year. Top 10 that year for sure. And it's really impactful, well written. Bradley Cooper's great. Yeah, a good little film. Here we go. Are you going to review Lovecraft Country or Country? Yeah. I early. I'm going to review it early, and then I might do episode by episode kind of deal. too. So if you guys would like to see Lovecraft by episodes, let me know. But I will definitely do a full review, hopefully before the show drops, maybe the day before that. I'm working on it. So we'll definitely have to see. Really looking forward to what I haven't seen yet. Let's see. Thoughts on did I miss a super chat? Oh no, guys, y'all gotta let me know. Oh yeah, see, Sam, I told you, man, it's tough. It's tough. Okay, I got it though. AJ, thank you, my friend. Could you do a ranking of Paul Thomas Anderson's filmography? Not on the spot, AJ, but I definitely could in general. Because did you guys see the new movie announcement? By the way, super excited for his next film. Yes, I would love to do that. I mean, goodness gracious, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. I mean, my goodness, that's going to be a tough ranking to do, guys. Master, woo! That's going to be a tough ranking. But AJ, I've got you, my friend. If you guys would like to see that, maybe in tier list form, I think it'd be super cool in tier list form. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. That's a good idea. Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson is not a director that I've hit on, but I think a lot of you guys would maybe appreciate a video like that because that's a super fun list of movies to debate and rank. That'd be awesome. All right. Thoughts on Edge of Tomorrow? Thoughts on the 2022 sequel? Yeah, so they announced it. I don't know where it's at officially. I'm excited for it because Edge of Tomorrow is so good. Did you like Edge of Tomorrow, Sam? Were you a fan of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, man. I think like the Groundhog Day concept, we've already talked about Palm Springs in rom-com form. Well, this is like a sci-fi action movie based around the Groundhog Day concept, living the same day over and over like a video game, but capturing that Tom Cruise. That's a cool movie, and I cannot wait for a sequel, man. That could be something extremely special. Let me make sure I did not miss another super chat. Okay. Going to go to Streamlabs. Oh, we do have a Streamlabs donation. Let me share this screen with you guys really quick. All right. We have from Wiley. Yes, Wiley. Austin, can you please talk more about Infinity Train? Just finished it last night, and now I'm a big fan. I was listen. Wiley, first of all, Wiley is a very good member on Patreon because he is actually the individual helping me out with some stuff. That's all I'll say. Some stuff. So I'll announce it officially later. But Infinity Train is great. I love this show. Guys, if you have HBO Max and you love animation and you have a really just like you like the OG Cartoon Network days, but you also kind of like the new stuff like Adventure Time and regular show. It's almost that adult element added into a kid's show because it gets a lot deeper than maybe you anticipate or expect. And the characters are just so well fleshed out and written. Infinity Train is the show for you. And season 3 is coming soon, very soon. I think within the next week or two. I think they're going to do episode by episode regardless. I would love to talk Infinity Train if you guys are a fan. But it's a great show. Yes, another super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thoughts on Sherlock, the TV series? I love it. So here's my thing with Sherlock. I'm just not caught up. That's the problem. I'm just not caught up on Sherlock, but it is very good. It is very, very good. Very well written. Very, it is that kind of, if you watch the Dracula series on Netflix, it's that kind of storytelling, but I think it's a lot better than the Dracula series on Netflix. Some of the better performances I've ever seen. Benedictine, obviously. I mean, you've got the whole cast is great, but it's a great, well-paced, I want to say different incarnation of Sherlock Holmes, but it's also a familiar, but a good kind of familiar incarnation. It's kind of what you expect from Sherlock Holmes. So, yeah, I need to get caught up, but what I've seen so far is great, genuinely great. We do have another super chat that I do want to hit on. My opinion, Kubrick, Nolan, Quentin Tarantino are the 3 directors who have never made a bad film. What was your thoughts on them sometimes not reining in their excesses? You know, I don't want to say, yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I don't think any of those 3. I was going to say maybe Kubrick, but I don't think he's ever made a bad film. I think he's made some movies that don't live up to his other films, but I don't think he's ever made a bad film. I don't think Nolan's ever, even Nolan's first film, Following, I don't think it's bad. I just think he was working with the budget that he had, and he ended up making a really good movie. A movie like that is inspiring, right? Quentin Tarantino, obviously, his first film is so inspiring because it's like, what if I could do something like that? You know what I mean? Like, these are three directors that are just top notch, nonstop, really good. I mean, Fincher, he made Alien 3, Denis Villeneuve. I've enjoyed all of the movies from him that I've seen. I heard there's one that I missed that maybe I won't be the biggest fan of, but Kubrick, Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, who have never made a bad film. Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, my friend. I gotta agree with you on that. At least what I've seen. Let's see. Which one? Which one?
He's saying, "Is this really the end of DC?"
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Big Dog Dave. That's good. Is this really the end of the DC animated universe? Justice League Dark Apocalypse War is a really good movie. Sam, did you watch Apocalypse War this year?
No, I have no idea what that is.
It's like it's like the big finale to all the DC movies over the last 10 years. It's like it was almost the Avengers Endgame of that universe. Okay? So I absolutely loved Apocalypse War for what it was. Again, some of the things in there, I'm just like, it's not the best. But in terms of what it did for that universe and the payoff, I thought the payoff was fantastic. I loved it. I really do. We do have another super chat that I want to hit on super quick. Which Funkos do you own? Well, just he's right here. Funko Pop. So I got a mixture of Rick and Morty, a couple Rick and Morty Funko Pops. I got a Batman, I got a Superman. I have the bigger Commissioner Gordon Batman right there. I've got 11 from Stranger Things. I've got there's my jewel-headed Morty that I found. I've got Davos from Game of Thrones for some reason. It's just a bunch of random pop figures. Colonel Sanders, and then all the ones you see right here. Little Dwight from The Office, and then a bunch of random ones down there. I've got some Batman. I've just got an assortment of Funko Pops. But hey, you can never buy enough Funko Pops, right? So my plan is to continue to get more Funko Pops and hopefully build up a lot more. And then eventually when I move from an apartment to a house, I can showcase them a lot nicer. And that's kind of the end goal. Have you seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, 500 Days of Summer? Great. William, thank you so much. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Yes, thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It is a wonderful, beautifully animated movie, but also witty, sharp, witty, very adult. 500 Days of Summer is also a great movie. I just recently watched it. It was within the last year. I recently watched it, and it is so good. So good. Both performances are outstanding, and it's one of those movies that really resonates with you. So, yeah, two really good movies, two really good recommendations. And honestly, if you guys are looking for movies to watch, I think both of those are worth it. I think 500 Days of Summer is on Amazon Prime for free, or at least it was when I watched it. I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if that's the same deal, but yeah. Okay, here's a super chat. What do you think about the Ray Park situation? Yeah. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. You know what? It's wild because I think Disney's maybe doing the right thing by not bringing him back because he did some nasty stuff, guys. It's not necessarily something titled. No, I appreciate the super chat. I really do. And it's something at least worth mentioning and hitting on. But it sucks because I really, enjoyed what he brought to that universe, but it's not good what happened. I am seeing a lot of this in the chats. I mean, a lot of it. I mean, to the point to where it's like a lot, but I don't know what this means. I don't know what that is. So if someone could explain. Bye. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. All right. Let's see. Is it I would assume it's a TV show or a movie, maybe? Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Favorite Studio Ghibli movies besides Spirited Away. My Neighbor Totoro is outstanding. Princess Mononoke is absolutely incredible. I would say those three are probably my favorite, but Oh gosh, guys, it's tough. I mean, how's moving guys? I mean, guys, it's like which kid do I like the most? Studio Ghibli is just such a good it's that kind of studio, man. It's that kind of studio, just like a Pixar, in my opinion. All right, Avengers Beta. You play Tyler Yates, my friend. I haven't played yet, but I'm planning on. I mentioned it a bit earlier in the stream. I am planning on getting it. I think it is a wonderful looking game, just from what I've seen now. At first, the trailer came out, and everybody's like, but now I'm like, okay, this looks really cool. I'm seeing, like Sean Chandler playing it a little bit. We've been going back, like, I'm like, all right, this could be very interesting. So I definitely want to play it. I definitely plan on it. And that PS4, that PlayStation Spider-Man inclusion, man, it's like I got an Xbox, so it's like, oh man, but yeah, hey, PlayStation players, y'all gonna get that. Y'all gonna get that's okay. That's okay. I need to get a PlayStation just for the Spider-Man game, but I gotta get some equipment for this set, so I gotta focus on that first, right? Games second, movies first, right? Your expectations for the DC event coming up, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat. I'm pumped. I would like to know though, would you guys, and I'm going to leave this up to you all, okay? Would you rather see a live stream of DC Fandom or multiple videos of DC Fandom? So I could do 2 videos in a live stream that day. YouTube likes you to keep it 3 videos within 24 hours. So I could do 2 videos in a live stream, 1 large live stream, multiple live streams, couple short clips. How would you guys like to see? Would you like to see a Batman teaser reaction if we were to get something like that? I'm leaving it up to you. So regardless, I appreciate you guys wanting some coverage like that. Because it's a really, really exciting. I mean, I think it's going to blow our minds, at least with what I'm hearing so far. And Chris and I, 3C Films and I, were talking about it. We're both like, you're just like little kids, man. Did you finish Dune, the book? No, I haven't finished it yet. I need to get back on. I took a little time off because I've been working on screeners and a couple of things, and I'm loving it so far. I mean, it's crazy. I've never read anything like Dune. Dune is wild. Sam, I have to introduce you to the world of Dune here in a little bit. Dune, D-U-N-E. So this movie, man, this movie is going to be one of the biggest movies, I think, of the last couple of years. It's my most anticipated of the year. I'm going to open this man's world up here in just a second. He's going to... So it's going to be crazy, man. But yeah, I'm reading the book right now. Very, very good. Dude, I do. Oh, we got to get to these, man. We got to get to these. Thank you, Sam. See, Sam's keeping an eye on these super chats for me because sometimes if I miss one, Sam, smack me over the head. Actually, yeah, you can smack me over the head. That's fine. That's fine. I'll deserve it if I miss one. All right, so we'll start with Tyler because I think that's where we are right now. I think that's where we are right now. Tyler says, choose any 2 movies, swap the directors, and then imagine the outcome. Wow, Tyler. All right. Well, let's just go with my favorite 2 directors. Okay, so let's go Denis Villeneuve with Interstellar, right? And then let's go Christopher Nolan with Arrival.
How would you even do that?
Dude, let's go. Okay, so let's take Nolan's style with Arrival and pair. Ooh, because the thing is, I think both of those would work so well, right? I think Arrival would have been less but again, you're dealing. That's perfect though, because Arrival deals with time travel, and that's kind of what Nolan deals with. And then Denis Villeneuve has done Blade Runner and Arrival, so he's in the sci-fi space, and I think he could tackle something like Interstellar. There's my 2 movies, but here's the thing: the outcome I think would be great. Either way, I think both movies, they'd be very different films because the directors focus on 2 different things. But I think that would be so cool. What a fun idea! What a fun idea! We might do that again a little bit later too with some different directors. Ryan, have you seen The Rundown? That is the Dwayne Johnson movie, right, yes, Sam? I like that movie.
It's a good one.
I think that movie is good. I think it's one of the most underrated Dwayne Johnson movies out there. Like, legit. It's before he had proven himself as an actor. And he was still kind of just, I'm going to do these action movies. He was, yeah, because it was early 2000s. Yeah, 2003. So he was still in his wrestling phase. I think it's a really fun movie. It's not like a phenomenal film, but it's a super fun movie. Yeah, that's a good one to see. I'm telling you, Sam, this thing. Okay, so we got Tyler, we got Ryan, then we have Marshall. Marshall says, Samuel, What is your favorite? Now, I can answer this without even blinking. Samuel, what is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie by far is Jurassic Park.
It's Jurassic Park. He is the world's. It's gotten to the point to where we were having a conversation yesterday to where he's watched it so many times. He's noticing these little intricate details and he's like, well, that doesn't make all that much sense. But it's things that you would never in a million years think about unless you've seen the movie 50 times. How many times have you seen Jurassic Park, Sam?
I don't even know.
It's like what he goes to sleep to.
No, my other favorite is the Goonies.
Goonies. Yes, it's the Goonies.
I love the Goonies.
He loves the Goonies. So Goonies, Jurassic Park, those are his two favorite movies. What an absolute great, like, just duo of nostalgic films. That's such nostalgia.
That's what we talked about is this, like, Stand By Me and the Goonies.
Yes.
It's a feel-good child, like, kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think Stand By Me is one of the best, like, coming of age stories ever made. And that's another one of his favorite movies. So yeah, he's got some pretty good, like, nostalgic tastes in movies. And he's a big classic Disney fan too.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about Tarzan and all of those movies last night. Phil
Collins.
Collins.
Melts my heart.
Yes, man. Oh, he is such a, like, a Disney, like, oh, just some great movies on your. What about modern films, Sam? Like, recently, what's your favorite recent movie?
Oh,
or at least a couple.
Couple, like, recent movies I'm a huge fan of. Of course, I love all the Marvel movies. You can't go wrong there.
Big MCU guy. Yeah. It's my friend Samuel, by the way. He's hanging out.
That's real. Heath Ledger?
He's back. Heath Ledger. It's what? The Joker.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. But I don't think so, at least. But yeah, that's my friend Sam. He's hanging out. We literally sat for 3 hours last night and talked about movies. Legit nostalgia, trivia. He was reading off movie quotes. We were trying to figure out how we're going to play this game, but it was super fun.
I'm going to lose in that game, by the way, guys.
Oh yeah, it's going to be bad, y'all, and it's going to be really hot because it's a hot challenge. I do want to make sure that I've not missed any super chats. Is there another one? Tyler Yates. Here we go. Oh, Christopher Columbus, Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's Harry Potter. Oh, swappy swap. Okay, you know what I'll say? I think Harry Potter would have been good. I don't know if Chris Columbus would work with Lord of the Rings. I don't know if I like that pairing. I don't think it
would work out like that.
I don't either, because do you imagine, like, Sam, like the Fantastic Beasts, because it's the same director, like that kind of style with Lord of the Rings? I don't picture it.
No, you couldn't do it. Not for, like, your middle age kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I just don't.
He couldn't pull it off.
I don't think he could. And even then, Chris Columbus has directed some mediocre films too. Mm-hmm. Harry Potter's great. Don't get me wrong. A lot of those movies are great, or at least some of the ones he directed are great. But he's also directed some mediocre films. But then again, so is Peter Jackson. I think he would maybe pair a bit better with Harry Potter with that grand scale storytelling that he does. But hey, Tyler Yates, I'm digging what we're doing right now. I'm really digging it. All right, let's see. Wow, Gabby Davis, Sam, you're not gonna like this. Never seen
Gabby Davis, you're blocked.
No, we are not blocking Gabby. Hey, Gabby, listen, if there's a movie that I could recommend to you, it would be Jurassic Park if you've never seen it. But hey, you're not alone. I know I have some friends, one in particular in college, that had never seen Jaws, Jurassic Park, or Indiana Jones. Any of those movies. It's like, has Micah seen Jurassic Park?
Oh, well, of course.
Okay. Oh, well.
It's kind of like forced upon.
Willingly no, but she has seen it. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend Jurassic Park. It's a pretty solid movie. Hey, Sam has good taste. I agree, Chaos Kills. Sam's got some pretty good taste. A lot of good nostalgia movies. Are you guys roommates? Essentially growing up, yes. Essentially over the last couple of years before I got married, yes. But not anymore, unfortunately. But sometimes
we've talked about it, but
we've talked about. I mean, what if things don't work out and all this stuff? And
you lose a lot of money in a divorce, so you can't do
that. We wouldn't be able to afford to live with each other if they got divorced.
We're broke.
We're broke. We're just gonna live in a shed or something. Tyler Van says, thoughts on Wreck. You know what, Tyler? Never watched that movie, Tyler.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
No, it's a found footage movie. and I've heard a couple really good things about it. My favorite found footage film is honestly, I know a lot of people expect me to say Blair Witch. I think it's Chronicle, the superhero film. I love that movie, man. I love me some Chronicle. I was rooting for Capone this year with Josh Trank. Didn't quite work out, in my opinion. But Chronicles, I think, a really good, well-written movie, a different spin on superheroes. That I think is the best. But no, I have not seen. I need to get onto it. It's not even on my watch list on Letterboxd. So that is something that I will add. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, though. In the midst of the super chats, Alex Lopez says, my favorite film is Goodfellas. Alex, that's a good movie to have, my friend. That is in my top 20 movies. 20, 30, top 20, I think, of all time. It's a great film. Tyler Yates again. Joker, Todd Phillips, Grown Ups. Sam, the director of Grown Ups swapped with the director of Joker. That is hilarious. I love that. I couldn't imagine what Joker would be. I think Todd Phillips' Grown Ups would be pretty good.
Adam Sandler would be the Joker.
I couldn't imagine that, man. Oh, that is funny. That is really funny. What a great super chat. I love his director swap thing. It's so good. Just imagine. Now we're doing mediocre movies swapped with great movies. That is hilarious. All right.
Dave Franco.
That's seriously. Oh my gosh. Here's a question. Back on the Lord of the Rings topic. Will Lord of the Rings on Amazon be any good?
Oh, it will be fantastic.
I think it will. I believe I think Peter Jackson's returning as a producer, but we have all of these new concepts and ideas, and I believe it's a prequel.
Yeah, so it's a prequel of like the like War on Middle Age.
Oh wow!
Like how it like came to be.
Man, that'll be
more introduction of like your different like, let's say, regions.
Yeah. Well, almost like a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost like Game of Thrones. Ooh, Amazon's Game of Thrones? Question mark? I think it's going to be great. I really do. Ooh, Movie Micah says The Godfather is only good. Wow. And it's crazy how saying a movie is good is like this crazy, but it's The Godfather, right? Everybody says it's the OG. So I could see how someone thinks that, because it is one of those movies that, maybe some people are going to watch and be like, oh, I've seen that thing before. But the thing about The Godfather, in my opinion, is all of these tropes that we see in The Godfather, that we've seen in all of these other movies, if we're just watching it for the first time, The Godfather created those tropes. So they weren't tropes when The Godfather came out. They are now because The Godfather invented them. So if you go and watch The Godfather after you've watched all these other movies, then I think it would be a little bit cliche feeling. But the thing is, it created those cliches that have been repeated so much to where they've become cliches. But when they first were introduced to us, they were fresh and new. So that's one of the reasons why I think The Godfather and Goodfellas and all of these movies hold up really well. But I don't hate that take. I mean, Movie Micah, we can't get on to somebody for saying a movie is good because, hey, you're not wrong. Movie is good. I just think it's really good or really great. Spider Dark. Let's just say movies we haven't seen. I start with the Godfather trilogy with the smile and the tear. That's good. Hey, worth every second, every
hour.
Every hour. Sam,
like a 12-hour trilogy.
It is. It's a lot. Sam was telling me how long it took him to get through the first Godfather last night. Yeah, that's a long one. Oh, here's good. Cole Davis. Austin, you should watch Last Chance U on Netflix. I know you like football, so I think you'd like that show.
Have you watched it?
I love that show.
It's a really good show.
I just haven't reviewed it. It's kind of like my Netflix show that I don't review, if that makes sense. And it's great because, and I like that we're with a different team every other season, and we meet all these new individuals and just people trying to make it, essentially. Great show. Cole, I appreciate you asking me that. I apologize for the lack of reviews for that one, but it's a great show. Oh, here we go, Tyler, with another director swap. Let's see. Oh, I don't mind this one. So Sam Raimi, Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan, Spider-Man.
That'd be an easy swap.
That would be interesting though, because imagine the style of The Dark Knight and Inception with that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then imagine that comic booky Spider-Man feel with Batman Begins, I think they'd be two different movies. I think Spider-Man would be a lot darker, and I think, or realistic, I guess. And I think Batman Begins would be a lot more comic booky. But I don't mind that. Again, I like the movies we have, so I would prefer the movies we have over these two options. But I don't mind that. That's an interesting swap, Tyler.
Whenever you get the chance, do the Lake McClary.
Lake McClary. Which one's this one? Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see, Lake. We're gonna find your advice here. All right, Lake. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Austin. I'm just a college actor wanting to make a student film. Very nice question. Possibly in the horror genre. Any advice on what I should do to make it as good as possible? Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. With short films and movies in this vein, especially horror, I don't know if you already have an idea. But when you make your idea and you come up with your idea, make sure it's something different enough, but not so outlandish to where it's a concept that wouldn't work, if that makes sense. Make sure it's fresh. It's got to be a fresh idea. And it's difficult to, when you're making a short film, a student film, it's difficult to nail the dialogue. Maybe start out like your first movie. And I wish I would have done this. I went dialogue heavy on my first short film. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't very good because I didn't know how to write dialogue at that point. And I still probably don't know how to write dialogue, but I did progressively get better. Make it a movie with a just barely any dialogue and focus on the filmmaking, focus on the beauty of the camera movements and all of this stuff. And then show the world, hey, I can make a movie. I can make it look good. And then your next movie, start maybe progressing characters a bit more and getting in more into the writing and stuff like that. But you're an actor, right? So you want to make the world think that you're a good actor. And I think an easier way to do that at first is a little bit less dialogue. But then as you get better and as you get more comfortable, more and more dialogue. But also don't worry. Like, I know you need all the best equipment, all this stuff. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about budgetary restrictions. Don't worry about all of that. Just make it look as good as possible with the equipment that you have. Put a lot of work into editing, 8-10 hours in editing. And I think even that would be too short if it's an actual short film. And just have a lot of patience because it's not going to be the way you want it to be at first. But if it is, then you're onto something. But for me, the short films that I've made, and again, I don't have the most experience in the world, so I don't know. This may be bad advice, but I think you should just have a little bit of patience when it comes to, okay, it's not what I want it to be yet. Maybe I can kind of mold it into that. That's a great question. It's an absolutely great question. Tyler, I think, is the only super chat we've gotten since then, right, Sam? I think he's the only one. I know, man. It moves so fast. It's hard to.
It's Spielberg.
Oh my goodness, Sam! Remember the movie I was telling you about last night, The Room, the worst movie I ever made?
Yeah.
So imagine Tommy Wiseau's Schindler's List. That would be the most that would be horrible. I love that though, because it's hilarious. That would be the most, a lot of people would get offended with Tommy Wiseau's Schindler's List because subtlety is not Tommy Wiseau's friend, right? And then Spielberg's The Room. Spielberg could make anything good. So The Room would be a classic, and then Schindler's List would go down as one of the most offensive movies of all time. It's hilarious. These mixtures, if anybody else has, all right, let's see. Okay, here's Alex. Quentin Tarantino, The Wolf of Wall Street. Martin Scorsese, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Interesting. Imagine, thing is, I think Wolf of Wall Street is maybe the most over-the-top stylistic movie that Martin Scorsese's ever made. Imagine bringing Tarantino's over-the-top nature to that movie and then putting Scorsese with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which, off the top of my head, I don't think would be a fit, but I think he could make it work. But that Tarantino Wolf of Wall Street, I think that really fits within the boundaries of what he does. Let's do another one. Todd Phillips, Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn's The Hangover. Well, James Gunn is rooted in comedy because both Guardians movies are great, so I think he'd make that funny. And then Todd Phillips has made a very artistic comic book movie in Joker, so to see him tackle Guardians of the Galaxy would be a very different experience. I don't know if I like Todd Phillips' Guardians of the Galaxy, but James Gunn's The Hangover, I think, is a really good idea. These are really good, guys. These are really, really good. Let's see. Godfather was my first 3-hour movie. Was it my first 3-hour movie? I think it may have been. my first 3-hour movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because it's one of the OGs that I went back to when I graduated high school. It's like, okay, I've never seen The Godfather. I've got to see The Godfather. Is Goodfellas 3 hours? If Goodfellas is 3 hours, I think it's close at least. But if it's 3 hours, then that's mine. But it's either The Godfather or Goodfellas. Maybe right under it, maybe like 250 something. Here we go. Thoughts on J.J. Abrams directing all 3 sequels? So instead of Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, we would have gotten J.J. doing all 3 movies: Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. I think it would have been more consistent. Now, maybe it wouldn't have been as The Last Jedi wouldn't have been as like artistic and all this stuff. But yeah, I think it would have been more consistent. I don't think Disney really had a plan with the sequel. And I heard people say that for the longest time after seeing The Force Awakens, and I'm like, guys, because I love The Force Awakens. And then we get into The Last Jedi, and it's like, oh, this is a different movie. It's a different movie. And then The Rise of Skywalker, complete 180 again. Oh, no. And we were just talking about this last night, me and Sam, how inconsistent the Star Wars, the new movies are. They're just inconsistent. And even you talk about the spinoffs. Rogue One's great. I think Rogue One's great. Solo, in my opinion, fell a little bit short, but it's still, it's still pretty good. Rise of Skywalker comes out and just completely underwhelms. Like, it's just like, it's an odd thing to talk about, JJ directing all 3 movies, because I think would have gotten a distinctly different second 2 films. But at this point, we just got to see what Taika Waititi does with the new one. Tyler Yates says J.J. Abrams' Django, Tarantino's The Force Awakens. Ooh, see, I don't know if I like Tarantino doing a Star Wars movie. Now, I could see him doing a Star Trek movie that apparently, according to articles this week, he's not doing anymore. But J.J. Abrams' Django, that is funny. So it would never be as good as the original Django, but that is funny. I mean, I don't know if either of those work, but it's an interesting, again, these are interesting pairings. Like the gamer says, Fincher with Whiplash, Chazelle Social Network. Fincher, I don't know if he has that love for music that would make Whiplash work under his, but I don't hate that. But I just think Fincher needs that love that Chazelle has. But Chazelle for the Social Network wouldn't be as good. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting for sure. Let's see. All right. We got Vanya here. Got to get to this super chat because we're talking Umbrella Academy. Okay. I just started watching Umbrella Academy and mostly really loving it. Also, probably the only piece of American media I've seen in recent years where I share the name with a main character. Vanya, I swear to you, every time I see your name pop up in this chat room, I think of Vanya from Umbrella Academy. I say you think of that? No, seriously, I think of Vanya from Umbrella. So when I see your name, I just think of that face. So if you have Ellen Page's face, that would be extremely interesting. I doubt you do, but that is so funny you said that. And then Umbrella Academy, yes. Umbrella Academy is just so good. It's so fun. I was telling Sam he needs to watch it last night. It's a great spin on superhero shows, that and The Boys. And I think it's funny that they're both coming out around the same time too, season 2s of them. I think both of those shows are great spins and just different kinds of superhero shows, legitimately different kinds. We got 2 super chats that I need to get to. Is 12 Angry Men the best old classic film? I think yes. This is opinionated. Now, would I say it is the overall, no doubt, nonstop? It is the best classic movie I've ever seen. It's the best one I've ever seen. I don't know if I could say it's the best in terms of quality, right? It's such a good movie, though, guys. If you have never seen 12 Angry Men, I encourage you to get on that as quick as possible. The only movie that I can think of where dialogue is 100% of the film. It's well made. It's well shot. The actors are really good. The dialogue, it is possibly the best script I've ever seen. So if you want a good script, if you want a good screenplay, and you want some just some intense character studies and some of the best arcs you've ever seen, 12 Angry Men is absolutely the movie for you. We do have another Streamlabs. I do want to get into that super quick from Pelican Mike. What's up, Austin? How's it going? What's your favorite character and song from Hamilton? Mine has to be Washington One Last Time. I've listened to the album more times than I'd like to admit. Oh, favorite song. Well, you start out with a bang with Alexander Hamilton, and it's so good. Oh, gosh, guys. I don't know if I can tell you my favorite song because there's so many. Oh, there's so many. There's so many emotional ones. There's so many upbeat ones. I'd have to think about my favorite song. But favorite character, I think it's I think honestly, it's both of the Daveed Diggs characters. Daveed Diggs. Let's talk about Daveed Diggs for just a second. This man, Blind Spotting, the teacher in Wonder, he's always impressed me. And I knew he spawned from Hamilton, right? But when I saw both of his performances in Hamilton, two distinctly different characters, I am like in love with this dude's acting style right now. I'm all over Daveed Diggs. I'm like, I want him in every movie. I want to see what he can do next. I think he's what I've watched from the Snowpiercer TV show. I've not caught all the way up. That's my fault. He's been very good in it. He's just a great actor. And I think the first time I saw him personally was Wonder. But then I realized, oh, he's in this movie. Oh, he's in this movie. Then I saw Blind Spotting, and that rap at the end of Blind Spotting will rip your heart out. He's just such a good actor, guys. So it's probably both of Daveed Diggs' characters. But I honestly didn't hate Lin-Manuel Miranda's performance in that show. I know a lot of people say he's the weakest actor, but I think he's got great stage presence. So, but it's got to be both of Daveed Diggs' characters, man. He's so good. Let's see. 12 Angry Men. We're going to go back to Tyler Yates with another switcheroo. All right, let's see. Kevin Smith's Man of Steel. Zack Snyder's Clerks. Zack Snyder's Clerks. That's the one that sticks out to me. Kevin Smith's a hardcore comic book guy. So I don't know if Man of Steel's the movie I would like to see, but maybe a Superman movie. But I think Man of Steel would be an odd pairing. Zack Snyder's Clerks could work because Zack Snyder's dialogue's a bit over the top, some things like this. That could work. Kevin Smith's Man of Steel, maybe Kevin Smith's Superman. Sure. Man of Steel, I don't know. Man, I don't know how you all come up with stuff like this. Like you're just so much more creative than I am. If I'm being honest with you. Let's see. I want to hit on these super chats, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to skip a lot of your oh my God, Sam. Michael Scott's Armageddon, Michael Bay, Threat Level Midnight. Michael Scott directing Armageddon, Michael Bay directing Threat Level Midnight.
Michael Bay wouldn't able to make Threat Level Midnight
hey,
as good as it is.
Nobody can outdo Michael Scott's direction with Threat Level Midnight. But let me tell you, if there's an over-the-top director that I would want to direct Threat Level Midnight other than Michael Scott, it would be Michael Bay. Yeah, it literally sounds like, because we were talking about, no joke, we talked about nostalgia, we talked about The Godfather, we talked about Threat Level Midnight, and I swear all of these topics have come up in the super chat, or in the chat room today. This is crazy, man. AJ Taylor says, which producer, director, actor should collab? We'll say producer Spielberg, because I love Spielberg's producing work. Who? Keanu, yeah. Well, I don't know if that would work though, because I'm thinking David Fincher, but I need an actor to go with David Fincher. So I got Steven Spielberg, I've got David Fincher. Who's the actor that Fincher hasn't worked with? Let's just go like McConaughey. Let's do Matthew McConaughey, David Fincher, director of Social Network and countless incredible films, Fight Club, and Matthew McConaughey. I like that trio.
What would the plot be?
Yeah, what would the movie be? Okay, so we need like a dramatic thriller of sorts. We need well, I don't want to repeat Zodiac. I was going to say a murderer. We're going to solve let's do more of like a character study on McConaughey. Almost like a Wolf of Wall Street. Just one of these like over the top outlandish guys who got caught up in a bunch of trouble, or a Tom Cruise's American Made, that type of plot with the McConaughey, David Fincher at the helm, Steven Spielberg as a producer. I like that. I'd like to see that movie, man. Give me another McConaissance over the next couple. Give me that McConaissance, man. All right, here's Kyle. We got one from Kyle. Edgar Wright's La La Land. Damien Chazelle's Baby Driver. Ooh. So Sam Edgar Wright is the director of Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, and Scott Pilgrim, and he would be taking on La La Land. Then the director of La La Land would be taking on Baby Driver. I don't hate Chazelle's Baby Driver. I don't hate that because what does Chazelle do well? It's music. Edgar Wright's La La Land, I don't know if I can see that just yet. But if you bring that stylism from something like a Shaun of the, it might work. That might be two good pairings. It might work, but that Chazelle's Baby Driver, that's speaking to me. I don't mind that at all. All right, let's make sure we don't miss this one right here. Austin, when you review a foreign language film, say Bollywood, do you still have your critical eye on, or is it more to observe the culture and to widen? It's a little bit of both. Because I'm more unfamiliar with Bollywood films or foreign films in general. A movie like Parasite, which Bong Joon-ho directed, I had my critical eye, but I was looking at the differences in culture and the way that those characters are portrayed on screen. So, and there are a lot distinctions between American filmmaking, but a lot of the times, well, with Bollywood, it's up and down. I've seen a lot of up and down Bollywood movies. I've seen some good ones and I've seen some really bad ones, right? But I think that's the case with all of them. But it's important to take in the culture and to recognize that maybe dialogue is going to be presented in a different way just because that's the way they go about things. And sometimes, some people are just like, I don't like it. Listen, I love foreign films. I love foreign TV shows. Just this year, Patel Lok, Sacred Games last year. I mean, foreign TV shows are, and a lot of these guys, you recommended these shows for me to watch. And you make me aware of these when they come out. So it's a little bit of both. It's critical eye, of course, but I never try to go easy on something if it doesn't work for me. But I also like to accept the culture and kind of make that clear and evident in my reviews that it's that kind of storytelling, just to go about it a bit differently. But sometimes different is not bad. And that's something that I have to keep in mind when I'm reviewing shows and movies like that. Tyler Yates. Oh, okay. This is interesting. So, Sam, the really bad Fantastic Four movie, directed by Peter Jackson from Lord of the Rings, and then the director of the bad Fantastic Four movie, directing Lord of the Rings. But Josh Trank also directed Chronicle, which I think is a great movie. So, I don't like Josh Trank's Lord of the Rings. I like Peter Jackson's Fantastic Four.
Josh Trank would just ruin Lord of the Rings.
I think he would. I honestly, and I hate to say that because I'm rooting for Trank, man. He's 1 for 3 right now.
Trank.
I'm rooting for Trank. Trank the tank, Sam. Trank the tank. he's 1 of 3. I don't think he would do well with Lord of the Rings. But that Peter Jackson Fantastic Four, I've never put that together. Let's say a new incarnation of Fantastic Four with Peter Jackson. I'm there for that.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that for sure. My vote for Fantastic Four right now is the Russo brothers. That's who I want to tackle, the Fantastic Four. But hey, who knows if they're going to come back to the Marvel Universe. Let's make sure we're not skipping any super chats here. So we have Tyler's. We're going to scroll down to Williams. We've got Williams. Rank. Oh, this is tough.
I'd immediately put Gran Torino in front.
I would too. I think Gran Torino. I'm going to go Catch Me If You Can.
Super 8 and then Taken.
I would say Taken over Super 8.
Really?
I would say Taken over. Well,
Super 8.
Super 8's like that, the younger kids with they discover it's like, is it an alien? Is it this?
Oh, no. Taken before Super 8. 100%.
Taken, because
That was definitely something else.
that is tough though, man. Because I mean, Super 8, I think Super 8 is genuinely somewhat of an underrated film. Yeah, I'd say Gran Torino, Catch Me If You Can, Taken, Super 8.
Yep.
That's my ranking. That sound good? I think
Easily.
I think
I would even just skip all the others and just keep Gran Torino.
Dude, Gran Torino is so good. I love that movie. I really do. Tyler Yates says Raimi's Spider-Man suit or the Spider-Man suit in the MCU, asking for someone else in the chat. Oh, I didn't see. I apologize for missing that question, but I think Raimi's Spider-Man suit. Sam, what do you think? Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit or Tom Holland's?
I think Tom Holland's is too futuristic.
Yeah, it's almost like I mean, it's all CGI. I think that's the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's a little rubbery. It's not bad though. I like the suit, and of course, you guys know how much I love Tom Holland as the character. But yeah, I got to go Raimi's because Raimi's is just
It's your classic Spider-Man.
it's classic Spider-Man. It's OG Spider-Man. I mean, again, nostalgia is going to factor into that because I grew up with those movies. But yeah, I got to go Raimi's. But Tyler, that's a good one to debate. I like debating different interpretations of characters and the way that they look. I really like that. I really like that kind of debate within movies. Also, the gamer says Fincher directing Prisoners, Villeneuve directing Gone Girl. Ooh, I like that. I like Fincher and Prisoners especially. Villeneuve and Gone Girl is a little bit more difficult to kind of figure out in my head, but I love that David Fincher Prisoners. Again, all of these, at least the majority, I would prefer what we got, but I don't mind that Fincher Prisoners at all. Let me go through these and see if we have, did you see the new Black Panther Party? I can't remember. Is that the name of the movie? I can't remember the name of the movie with Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. Yes, it looks just the trailer, like the way that it's paced. I'm like, holy cow, who directed this? I mean, it looks crazy, man. And what's his name? Jesse Plemons. Oh, that looks good, man. I liked that trailer a lot. Let me make sure we're going through here, not missing any good questions. Oh, here we go. Austin, how are you? Have you seen some of the all-time classics? And if you watched them, how did you feel about them? I'm taking Kurosawa, Hitchcock, Lawrence of Arabia, Casablanca. Are they listening to our conversation, Sam? We talked about all these movies last night. This is crazy. Y'all are like reading our minds. This is crazy. We legit talked about Lawrence of Arabia, Casablanca, like all these, Gone with the Wind we talked about last night. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I love most of these movies. Listen, again, and I say of their time not as a negative, but these films are paced in an interesting way that I don't think a lot of people are going to, watch and be like, oh, these movies are boring. But it takes a certain mindset to watch them. But if you're in that mindset, a movie like Casablanca, some of those one-liners, we were talking about the dialogue last night. Some of those one-liners in Casablanca are killer, man. Killer one-liners. Yeah, that's some of the best classics of all time. Tyler Yates says, Paul Feig's Infinity War Endgame, Russo Brothers Ghostbusters. I don't know if I like Paul Feig's Infinity War Endgame, but I like that Russo Brothers Ghostbusters. I like that a lot. That actually may be one of my favorite pairings I've seen all day. And I mean, obviously, I would prefer that over the original. I think Paul Feig's a good director, by the way. I just think he's had some missteps here and there. I've really liked some of his movies, but Russo Brothers Ghostbusters, heck yeah, sign me up all day for that, Tyler. Sign me up all day. That's a cool pairing. All right, Vanya says, ooh, okay. Oh, let's see, this is within the same universe. So take the directors of Endgame, director of Thor Ragnarok, swap them. So you got Russo Brothers Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi's Endgame. I don't mind either of those. Thor Ragnarok would be a lot darker, less colorful. Actually, you know what, Vanya? I lied. I think Taika Waititi would do well with Endgame. I don't know if I like Russo Brothers and Thor Ragnarok because Thor Ragnarok is so colorful and comic booky. Russo Brothers movies are more grounded. Granted, we got some really comic booky moments in Infinity War and Endgame. We got some really comic booky moments, but those movies are more grounded. So as much as I love the Russo Brothers, I don't like that pairing. But I love Taika Waititi in Endgame. I think that would work really well. It would definitely be more of what we got in Ragnarok, and hopefully more of what we're getting in Love and Thunder. But I think that's a cool pairing. Austin, what would be some really acclaimed movies that you will never watch again? I would say The Green Mile and Seven. These two wrecked me. Well, those are two great movies. The Green Mile destroyed me. I think of movies like Manchester by the Sea. I think of movies like Roma. I don't plan on watching those two films again, but they're very good and very well made. Green Mile and Seven, for me, those are like some of my all-time favorites. Like Seven's one of my favorite movies, probably top 100, top 50 for me, in that range. Not my top 30, but so I would watch that again. But a movie like just a lengthy, some of these more drawn out. I don't know if I'd ever watch Waves again from A24. That one kind of crushed my soul. I probably would watch Magnolia again. Magnolia is it's a very emotional experience, but that's a Paul Thomas Anderson film that I think it warrants a rewatch almost. But again, it's that kind of movie that you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It is emotional, Marley and Me.
Oh no,
Dude, I would never watch Marley and Me again. That movie it's a very different film than all the ones we've talked about because it's not as good, but it destroyed my soul and it hurt me really bad. Logan _ the Great says, after the success of Bohemian Rhapsody, how would you feel about a biopic on Michael Jackson or Tupac? Love to see it, especially Tupac. I know Michael Jackson's the king of pop, but Tupac is fascinating. Life, death, all of the in between, fascinating. Again, Michael Jackson is as well, but the problem with the Michael Jackson biopic is I don't ever see anyone that could capture that. Who Michael Jackson was. I don't know. I can't think of an actor. With Tupac, I could probably think of a couple, but it's hard to capture who Michael Jackson was. So, but yeah, I mean, after Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man, granted, Rocket Man was a musical, but we're going to start seeing a lot more movies like this, and they're all like kind of Oscar heavy. Ranch King says, pick 2 actors and swap what movies they star in. This is great. All right, pick 2 actors and swap what movie they star in. Sam, if you think of anything, back me up here. I'm going to go. Okay, so we're going to go Leo from Inception. That's my first one. And then we're going to go Hugh Jackman in Prisoners. And we're going to swap those 2. You know why? Because I think Leo, I want to see him play that devastated father figure and how he would have treated, Paul Dano's character. And then I want to see Hugh Jackman lead a giant epic sci-fi movie. So we're not saying characters. We're just saying actors. Leo and Hugh Jackman, because Hugh Jackman's done about everything except for a hardcore, huge sci-fi movie, and then Leo, I think would really crush the role that Hugh Jackman did. But again, I prefer them in their original roles because Hugh Jackman should have got nominated for an Oscar. Mr. Kiki says, John Hughes, The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Wow, I can't fathom that, Mr. Kiki. I can't fathom John Hughes taking on The Godfather. Or even Francis Ford Coppola, because he's such a different director than what we see in something like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I couldn't imagine that.
Dude, what about Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator, and Sylvester Stallone from First Blood? Switching those.
Sylvester Stallone, Sam just said, from First Blood, Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator, and swapping them. Oh, that's great. That's great, because I've always been curious how Stallone would have treated the roles that Arnold had, and then seeing, especially the Terminator, my goodness, and then seeing Arnold in First Blood. Come on. I mean, we saw something similar in Predator. He would absolutely crush that. Yeah, some great choices here, guys. All right. Missed a couple. I want to make sure I get these super chats, guys. So we did pick 2 actors. We have William, who says, have you heard of Chazelle's upcoming Babylon? The cast? Yes. Yes. I don't necessarily know the cast right off the top of my head, but I'm so excited. Guys, it's Emma Stone, isn't it? I believe it's Emma Stone. But Damien Chazelle is one of my favorite filmmakers working right now. Even First Man. I was a big First Man fan. Babylon, I can't wait for that. Now, his show on Netflix, I didn't love it, but he only directed a couple of episodes, and TV is a lot different than movies. So, yes, I can't wait for Babylon. We'll see what happens there. Tyler Yates says, Bong Joon-ho, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Oh, my God. Imagine the director of Ace Ventura directing Parasite. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But Bong Joon-ho, Ace Ventura, I just, those are such odd pairings. These pairings are hilarious though, because it's like they're so random, they're almost enticing to think about what it's. I love that pairing. The director of Ace Ventura tackling Oscar-winning Parasite. That is hilarious. Oh, I couldn't picture it, man. I couldn't picture it.
Hey, Burke, Fashionable Changling
Okay.
would want to know, what type of bender from Avatar do you want to be?
Oh, here we go. Okay. I've thought about that.
I thought about it too.
Okay, I want to hear your answer, and then I'll hear it. I think I want to be a rock. I want to be an earthbender, because you can do metal bending, you can do earth bending. If I could master metal bending, I'd probably want to be an earthbender. I think that would be super cool.
I would probably just be the Avatar.
No, that's cheating. That's cheating. What bender would you be?
A lot of people say air because they want to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Like they want to be able to fly. But I'd like to also be a firebender. I would prefer to be a firebender because in a lot of the, let's say real world kind of stuff,
yeah,
fire beats everything. Fire can
it's true.
overheat a rock. Fire and water. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But with fire, you could also fly. Like they were able to fly. They just, they take the hands and the feet.
Yeah,
it's like a jetpack.
That's true. Oh man, it'd be tough though because I feel like firebenders. Again, if you got waterbenders, you can kind of take them out. Earth would be tough to match up against a firebender. But I remember Toph in that final episode, man, when she takes that door and she wraps herself in that metal.
Oh yeah. Well, Toph was a different kind of.
She was,
earthbender.
but
she was OP.
She was OP, but that would be so cool. Oh, good question, fashionable changeling. Good question. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. We got 2 more movies or 3 movies. Okay, going up against each other. Here we go, Sam. We got Die Hard versus Taken versus John Wick. I
would have to say, in all reality, with what Keanu Reeves trained for just to make John Wick what it was. Like he did his jiu-jitsu, he did the training with going to the range with his actual firearms.
Yeah.
Like he put in a lot of time
to
be able to play the persona of John Wick.
He did. Absolutely. If we're going as a whole, so we're going to the Die Hard. As a whole, it's no competition. As a whole, it's John Wick. But if we're just going those first movies, it is very tough between John Wick and Die Hard for me. It's very tough. I rated Die Hard. I gave Die Hard the first one a better score than John Wick. But let me take my favorite John Wick movie versus my favorite Die Hard movie, and I may. Ooh, that's tough, man. That's tough. So movies, franchise, John Wick. How about characters?
Ooh.
McClane versus Neeson's character versus Keanu Reeves and John Wick. I go John Wick. I mean, John Wick would take him out, man. He'd take him out. It's easy.
That meme that goes around, it's like you choose these 3 characters and the rest are coming with you or coming after you.
Yeah.
Me and you both picked
John.
We just picked John Wick
and not even
just protect us the whole time.
He would, and we wouldn't even have to pick like multiple, like because they were like pick 2 or 3, and I'm like,
look at him. He gets stabbed and shot, and he still fights like it's nothing.
He lost a finger. Like, oh man, like dude.
Hey, no big deal. Falls off a building, survives.
That was a little much for me. That was a little. I'm like, kind of stretching.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yes, kind of stretching the boundaries here, but yeah, I would definitely go John Wick over those 2. Thoughts on Hugh Jackman in a Scorsese picture? Oh, you talk about a dream pairing. Just feel like he would be a perfect actor. Also, Cruise for Tarantino. Love those combos. I have always said, especially after, and this is gonna blow your all's minds, Tropic Thunder. When I saw Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, I said, I want to see him in a Tarantino film. And just be himself, not even put on all the makeup, just be himself in a Tarantino movie. I love that pairing. But that Hugh Jackman Scorsese, we're going to get Hugh Jackman that Oscar, guys. We're going to get him that Oscar. We're going to work on it because he just got nominated for an Emmy this year. I want him to get an Oscar, and I think Scorsese would be the ultimate pairing. Gosh, I wish they would work together. My goodness. Tyler Yates says, Mark Wahlberg. Hey, everybody. It's Mark Wahlberg. Phantom Thread. Okay, Mark Wahlberg in Phantom Thread. Daniel Day-Lewis in The Happening. I'll tell you one thing. Daniel Day-Lewis would make The Happening about 10 times better. Okay? Mark Wahlberg in Phantom Thread. I don't like it. I don't like the pairing. I don't like the matchup. But Daniel Day-Lewis in The Happening would make it so much better, even though I don't think that's Mark Wahlberg's fault. I think it's Shyamalan's fault. Okay? I think Mark Wahlberg's a good actor, though. Movie like The Departed. Hey, everybody. It's Mark Wahlberg.
Never get a chance to answer that Robbie's guy.
Robbie. Okay, let's see. Okay, Robbie. Okay, here we go. If you ever played a choose your own adventure game in Netflix, and if you have, which is your favorite? I know it's not really a movie question, but oh well. Choose your own. Man, Sam, do you have one for this?
Well, I think the only one I've ever actually taken part in is when he's like a video game creator, and you had to like choose what
That
actions he made
yeah,
in
yeah,
a Netflix show.
that was the Black Mirror
Yeah,
thing,
you
wasn't it?
told you. I don't know if that's the one, but you told me about it.
Did you like it?
I liked it a lot,
I thought it was cool.
and of course, I chose all the wrong answers, but it's okay.
I thought there's also, Sam, I don't know if you saw this, but there's this trailer. Did you ever watch Batman Under the Red Hood, Sam, the animated movie? So
I don't
okay.
even know half the movies you guys.
Okay. So there's an animated movie called Batman Under the Red Hood, and there's a prequel movie coming. So spoilers for Red Hood. I mean, it's old. So at the end of Batman the Red Hood, I'll just say this. I won't spoil it. A certain character dies. So in this new movie coming out, you get to choose whether that character dies, what Batman does about it if he lives, or if there's a different outcome with Batman and the character that kills the character that he loves. There's like 3 different options. I think something like that is really cool. I think that's really cool for a DC animated movie. So I hope we get more of those. I really like the Black Mirror thing, even though, again, I do like a laid out structure, like a narrative more so than something that I have to choose. But I think it's still a super cool concept. All right, Zammy says Stanley Kubrick's Plan Ed Wood's 2001. Ed Wood's 2001. I can't picture that. I think Kubrick would crush anything. Now, Plan 9, that's different. But I think that works more than Ed Wood's 2001. I think 2001 is only a Kubrick creation. Only. I could never picture another director directing that. Not Christopher Nolan, not Steven Spielberg, not Martin Scorsese. Stanley Kubrick is the only director I could see tackling something like 2001. But it's still interesting to think about. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Ruben Fleischer, the director of Venom, tackling The Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro tackling Venom. I don't like that Ruben Fleischer Shape of Water pick, but Guillermo del Toro tackling Venom. You think about the tropes from Pacific Rim. You add in like that. He works with practical effects quite a bit. I mean, obviously you couldn't do that for Venom with that kind of style. I don't mind that Guillermo del Toro pick for Venom. I don't mind that at all. I think it may have been better than the movie that we got. But Ruben Fleischer Shape of Water, I couldn't handle that. I just don't think it would work. It's already a movie that a lot of people take issue with. Tyler Yates says Arnold Schwarzenegger walked the line. Joaquin Phoenix, Kindergarten Cop. Arnold Schwarzenegger walked the line. So Arnold playing Johnny Cash.
Oh man, I couldn't. Oh man, no.
I could actually see Joaquin Phoenix, Kindergarten Cop, because I could see Joaquin Phoenix snapping at a bunch of kids. I could just see him getting freaked out by a bunch of kids, but I couldn't see
on that Joker ring.
I couldn't see Arnold walk the line. That is hilarious. Oh, this is the best live stream I've ever done. And there's less people here than there's ever been, but that's okay. It's great. Here's a random question. Let's see. All right. One food for the rest of your life. Sam, what's the one food for the rest of your life?
Do I have a like general area I can choose?
Yeah.
Like, are we talking like snack food, an actual meal, breakfast?
Well, let's just say one singular part of a meal. So,
One singular part.
like the entree, like what's the main? No side items, just what the entree would be, like steak or
You go ahead and answer yours.
I would say.
I would honestly like. I know it's just original, but I'd have to say steak.
I would, yeah, probably
steak or shrimp. Oh,
seafood pasta. That's mine.
Mm.
Steak, no, seafood pasta it's very filling, so I don't know if I could do it over a steak. So I'd probably say steak first. Prime rib, easy. Prime rib.
Because you can always do like different things with your steak.
Yeah.
But if you go with like your normal meals, like let's say a hot dog or a
you can't.
Like there's so many things you could do with the steak, like your marinades, your seasonings. Just
you're selling me, man.
Yeah, like that's a hard one, but an easy one at the same time.
You're selling me. What about dessert, Sam? What's your favorite dessert?
Oh, my favorite dessert. Gosh, that is hard. I could easily say like something like a chocolate cake or like a. 'Cause you can't go wrong with a chocolate cake now unless it's too much chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks because you can take like 3 bites of like a super rich chocolate cake and you're done because it's just too much for you. But I mean, I'm just gonna skip topic. Cereal. I could eat cereal for the rest of my life. We talked about it last night. Your French toast crunch
Dude, I
or
love.
fruity pebbles.
Yes.
Like you could sit down and eat a whole box of fruity pebbles or French toast crunch
Oh.
and not skip a beat.
Oh. Yeah, French Toast Crunch, Fruity Pebbles. Those are both of our definitive favorite cereals. But yeah, in terms of a dessert, I would probably say donuts, maybe, because you could go different with the donuts, right?
Yes,
You could go different with the
but
donuts.
the classic, just original glazed donut, fresh. Oh, off
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I could eat it. Honestly, I get like a dozen of those, and I don't realize that I've ate the whole dozen, and I just feel miserable afterwards. But it's okay. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't care to feel miserable to eat 12 dozen donuts every time I sit down.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. We do have a super chat here. Let's see. Jay says favorite Salamanca.
Is that like a salamander?
I think it's a place in Spain. Does that mean favorite? I don't know.
Is that like a type of food maybe?
Yeah, I'm not
Salamanca.
I'm not completely sure. Sorry, I apologize if someone wants to help me out in interpreting this question. Maybe. Oh, it's probably one of those. It's probably like something dirty, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here all clueless, like, I wonder what that means. But I don't. I'm not for sure, Jace. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. Better Jake Gyllenhaal role. Ooh, Brokeback Mountain or Nightcrawler. Gosh, that's a good one. I gotta go. I changed. I gotta go Nightcrawler. After what I saw him do in Nightcrawler was fairly incredible. I mean, he just another turn. I saw that movie and I said, I'd love to see Jake Gyllenhaal as the Joker. I'd love to see that. I think he could nail it in just a second. But man, he was great in Brokeback Mountain, and that their chemistry was so good in Brokeback Mountain. But I gotta go Nightcrawler. That's my definitive one. Pizza or ice cream? Sam, pizza or ice cream? I think just because of you can do a lot of different things with ice cream too.
You can with pizza.
That's what I'm saying. Do different toppings.
Okay, give me an easier one. And I'll answer.
It's such a simple question, but it's actually the hardest question of the day so far. Like, oh, that's funny.
Favorite type of ice cream?
Yeah,
cookies and cream.
Cookie dough is mine. Mine's cookie dough. I love cookie dough. But favorite kind of pizza? I'm a big mushroom guy, so anything with mushrooms on it. But I can eat anything on pizza except for onions. I don't like onions. Tyler Yates says Nick Cage and Titanic, Leo and Ghost Rider. I like Leo and Ghost Rider. If Nick Cage was in Titanic, it would be the most over-the-top Titanic you would ever see. But Leo and Ghost Rider, that's not a bad pairing. If Leo was to ever do a superhero movie, first of all, I'd want to see him do a villain, not a hero. But Ghost Rider is like an anti-hero. So, man, that's pretty good.
Salamanca is the Breaking Bad family.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Don't look at me.
I didn't even think about that. Did you research that?
No, I saw it on the chat.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking like, is it a place? Is it a...
People are saying Hector Salamanca and Tuco.
Oh, Tuco, dude. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, just general thoughts like imposing, threatening, terrifying at times. Part of the turn for Walter White. I mean, I just saw a super chat or a chat. Part of the turn for Walter White, a big part of, incredible. Again, it's a little bias when I talk about Breaking Bad because I just love Breaking Bad so much. I do. Everything. And I apologize for not thinking of that. I was literally thinking about the place in Spain. I'm like, isn't that where they shot Mission Impossible, one of the Mission Impossibles? So that's what I was trying to think of. I'm like, is it my favorite Mission Impossible part of that? But yeah, no, good Lord. Breaking Bad. I do want to make sure I haven't missed any super chats, by the way. Let me go over here and Flesh. No, I think we're good on Super Chat. So we're going to go into the normal chat room right now and do a few more minutes, guys. Just a few more minutes. I know, Sam, I told you we'd only do an hour. I'm just going to take a couple. I'm so sorry.
I'm enjoying these questions.
I know Sam's over here helping me, man. I like this. You make these live streams a lot easier. Let's see. Who do you think is an underrated actor or actress? Underrated. Man, it's tough. I think Caitlin Dever, I've been talking about her a lot lately as an actress, is really, really good and not necessarily underrated. Just I think she needs more roles. Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons, the new Charlie Kaufman film, Breaking Bad. He's popped up in a lot of movies. The Master. I mean, Jesse Plemons is an underrated. I don't think enough credit. And the movie that sold me on him was Game Night. Game Night. I swear to you, Game Night. Hilarious. Let's see. What is your favorite Mandalorian episode? I think it's the last 2 episodes are probably my 2 favorite. The finale, man. Whether it's just, I mean, those 2 in general. Whether it's the final arc of Taika Waititi's character, really just kind of the build up, going through that tunnel, I thought was an incredible scene. Just spoil. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen The Mandalorian. The scene with Giancarlo Esposito's character at the main end of the series, like that reveal, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? This is crazy. But yeah, man, a lot of great stuff in those final 2 episodes. But I also love pretty much any Waititi episode, and I can't remember her name. But her episodes are also fantastic. The girl that they're trying to get involved more with Star Wars. But yeah, let's see. Here we go. Oh gosh, Sam. Fabio says Jesse Pinkman or Walter White.
Like Jesse Pinkman, like fresh into Breaking Bad, or like Jesse Pinkman after he finally got to that stage where he's actually not doing a bunch of wrong things.
I would say let's look at both of their best moments in the show. So Jesse Pinkman at his peak, Walter White at his peak. I might say Jesse Pinkman.
I would too.
I think Walter White is maybe a better written character, but I think Jesse Pinkman is more of my favorite character, if that makes sense. Like Walter White's arc is unlike anything you've ever seen. But Jesse Pinkman, like, he's just a good dude. He turns into a great dude. And you don't think that at first, but then he's like, oh, he's really one of the only ones that got out. Like, you know what I mean? If you've seen the film El Camino, and that just kind of adds on to him. But yeah, I think I would choose Jesse Pinkman over Walter White. Top 10 scores of the decade. Oh, I can't go top 10. I feel like I always say the same ones, and I apologize for being repetitive. I do want to throw the Dark Knight score in there. Obviously Man of Steel, obviously Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, Inception, Interstellar, Social Network is a phenomenal score that's not talked about enough. You get into some of the other more Oscar films. I know it's subtle, but I really like the score for Spotlight. I really like the score for First Man, which, did that get an Oscar nomination? I don't think it did. I'm pretty sure I was shocked that year for no Oscar nomination. I enjoy, there's so many great scores. A lot of them would be sci-fi though. I'm a big sci-fi score connoisseur. Oh, and Joker, the score for Joker, the dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful score. All right, guys, we're going to take a couple more. Let's make sure we get through these super chats. Take a couple more, and then we're going to round this out, and we're going to go home. Let's see. Here's one from McLovin. Pick one movie. Pick one's movies. Ooh, Tom Cruise. Okay, so we're going to pick, Sam, we're going to pick the best assortment of films and pick one of these actors. So all of Tom Cruise's movies, all of Jake Gyllenhaal's movies, all of Ryan Gosling's movies, Tom Hanks, Matt Damon. It's hard not to.
One from each actor?
No, just pick like their overall filmography. Which one of these would you choose? It's hard not to go Tom Hanks because Tom Hanks has been in everything.
Yeah.
Like he's been in Toy Story, he's been in Saving Private Ryan, he's been in everything. But
and Jake Gyllenhaal's got the End of Watch that really just like hits base with
dude,
you.
End of Watch, Prisoners, Nightcrawler, like, oh, this is tough. Zodiac. Matt Damon's been in a lot of good movies. Ryan Gosling. Think of Ryan Gosling. La La Land. Blade Runner. Oh man, that's tough. I would honestly, and Cruise is great too, because Cruise has got some of those really well acting roles. You got a Magnolia, and then you've got all the Mission Impossible movies. That's a lot of Mission Impossible movies to pass up.
Yeah. Are we choosing like the best movie out of all the actors, or like the best actor?
Just like the best actor and his roles. Like, which movies would you? I'd probably have to go Hanks, just because he's in the most. He's in the most. Like,
and he plays some of the best characters.
And he does, and he's in a lot of Scorsese films. He's in a lot of like varying director Spielberg movies. Like, not Scorsese. Why'd I say Scorsese? Spielberg is who I meant to say. He's in a lot of Spielberg movies, and for our childhood with Toy Story. I mean, it's a lot of Toy Story films. Tom Hanks in a Scorsese movie. I'd like that pairing, by the way. That and maybe Tom Hanks throw him in a Fincher film. Has he been in a Fincher film? I don't think so. But yeah, it's hard to pass up. But personally, like the movies that I prefer, I'd say Jake Gyllenhaal. I'd say Jake Gyllenhaal is actually my favorite actor of all those. Right now. Grand scheme of things overall, probably Tom Hanks. But right now, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is actually my favorite actor. But do not sleep on Ryan Gosling, my friends, because just those two films, La La Land, Blade Runner, Crazy Stupid Love. God, that's a good super chat. My goodness. All right. Let's see. Really? Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit in the chat. Okay. Let me do this one, guys, and then we'll wrap this up here in a little bit, because I planned for an hour today. We went an hour and 46 minutes. My apologies, Samuel. Alex Cotton says, Denis Villeneuve for Ex Machina, Alex Garland for Blade Runner. I like that. I like both of those choices. I prefer the Blade Runner that we got with Denis Villeneuve, and I would probably prefer the Ex Machina, but you match Denis Villeneuve with that kind of story and that kind of storytelling that we get. But granted, it would be different, because Alex Garland is a very different kind, maybe more of a methodical filmmaker than Denis Villeneuve. But I like those two very excellent sci-fi films, by the way. I also like Blade Runner 2049 more than the original Blade Runner, funny enough. Guys, let's do a couple more. Favorite Disney movie from the last decade? It might. We're not going to count Pixar. And we're not going to count like the Avengers, because those are technically Disney movies. We're going to say Disney animated films. I might, Sam, have to go with Moana or Wreck-It Ralph. I might have to go with Moana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love that movie. What would yours be like? Think Tangled, Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph. Zootopia is a good one. Yeah, I might go Moana. I love Moana. We love the songs from Moana. We love to sing the song. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, I might have to go with Moana. Umbrella Academy spoiler review. Well, it's probably a little bit late for me to do a spoiler review, but I did do an ending explained where I essentially talk spoilers, if you want to check that out. And then I may do, if we have enough call for it on the Patreon page, I may do a spoiler video on the Patreon page. So if you guys would like to see that, if you're a member of Patreon, let me know, because I like doing some extra spoiler videos and stuff like that. Let's do a couple more here. What do you think about Veep? Here's a different one. Team Rainbow says, what do you think about Veep? I think it's one of the best endings for a TV show ever. Had a great time watching Veep, but you know what? I've not seen all of it. Heard great things about the ending, and thankfully, please no spoilers. Nobody spoiled it yet. But so far, I think Veep has really impressed me. But it's one of those. It's been a little bit, so I got to go back and start getting caught back up on it. We got to hit this super chat real quick from Marshall Boy. So we're going to trade Ronnie U BVS, Freddy versus Jason, Zack Snyder, Freddy versus Jason. Man, I don't hate that Zack Snyder, Freddy versus Jason. I don't hate that. And I like it too, because you've got the Freddy versus Jason, the Batman versus Superman. But I don't know about Ronnie or VVS. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I like that. But Zack Snyder, Freddy versus Jason. That's pretty good. Thank you, Marshall, for the super chat. Austin, we're getting a Studio Ghibli tier list. Yes. I just have to get back through all the movies. I've hit Totoro. I've hit my favorite so far. Spirited Away. I don't know. Okay. I want to go back through all of them. So it will take me a bit, but hopefully this year. That's kind of like my goal. That's kind of like my goal this year. Let's do 2 more questions, guys. Let's do 2 more questions. I like this. What movie does everyone like that you hate? Okay. This is going to be bad. Apologies in advance to everyone watching. I don't hate this film, but I did not like Suspiria 2018. A lot of people love The Mist. I don't like The Mist. It's well directed. I just don't like it. And You're Next, the horror-esque slasher movie You're Next. A lot of people love that movie. I remember watching Jeremy John's review at the time and all these other reviews, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be great. And I watched it, and I just something about it that didn't work for me, guys. I know, I can see it now. Everybody's going to get so upset with me. But yeah, those are films that I'm not a fan of. And there are films that you're going to see pop up when I do my fresh movies that should be rotten. Yeah, apologies, guys. Apologies. Man, that's crazy. What's your favorite Pixar moment? Oh, that's a good one. Awesome, cool guy. Pixar moment? Well, you got to talk about that beginning montage from Up. You got to talk about the end of Toy Story 3. Well, no, Toy Story 3 when they're going into the flames. That's one of the most devastating moments I've ever seen.
Or when Wally gets crushed.
Oh, when Wally gets crushed, yes. Man, Wally's an underrated Pixar movie, by the way. I love that movie. I love that film. Got so many beautiful moments from Ratatouille. Again, Monsters, Inc. with Boo. Oh, gosh. So many good moments from Coco. Inside Out. Oh, man. Yeah, I got to go with Up or the end of Toy Story 3. The end of Toy Story 3. Those are 2 good ones. Let's take one more, guys. This is the last one. This is the last question. All right. Here's a good one, guys. Here's a good one. So this is the last question, unless we get a super chat, because we've been going for an hour and 50 minutes, folks. An hour and 50 minutes. Let me make sure I didn't get a Streamlabs. Nope. So if you could go back and watch a film for the first time, Sam, you're going to answer this too. What would it be? And it can't be Jurassic Park, Sam. It's too easy. I would honestly say, oh no, that is a tough question. I would honestly say maybe Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Maybe Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, watching it for the first time again. Because I think I was a little too young to appreciate it on the level that I do now. The Dark Knight. That's my answer. It's The Dark Knight.
I'd have to go back to, honestly, I'd have to just, the moment it hit, I'd have to say Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone.
Ooh, the OG.
The OG.
Wow.
When it first came out in theaters and you went with like all your middle school friends.
Yeah.
And y'all watched that movie. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. That's a great one, man. So Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Man.
Maybe even
Empire.
Tarzan.
The Disney Tarzan? Yeah. I like that. Empire Strikes Back is a good one too. Mm-hmm. Empire Strikes Back is a good one because that reveal, you can't. That's tough, man. That's tough to choose one. A lot of good questions. All right, guys. I think those are my answers, and unless I can start thinking of another one. All right, let's see. Okay, so a couple people that are upset. I'm sorry. I got to get to the super chats, guys. That's kind of like the goal of the video is if we get super chats, I address them. Apologies, but let's do this. I guess we'll do this last one to appease. How will Tenet and Dune's quality affect your director rankings? I mean, heavily, right? So if Dune's bad and Tenet's great, you might see a switch there. If Tenet's bad and Dune's great, it's going to be probably the same thing. But it's tough, guys. It's tough. We'll just have to see. It will definitely affect them, though. I will take into account the quality of both films because to me, they're so close. They're neck and neck right now. One bad film could put one over the other if that's not the situation that we're in right now. So, no, it's a good question, though. It's a very good question.
Ooh.
What is it, Sam?
There's two I would really like to answer.
Okay, we'll do these last two.
So one is Impalator. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. What is your favorite fight scene of all time? I would have to choose between scenes from The Raid, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars. Ooh.
Favorite fight scene. So we're just talking overall fight scene. Like, doesn't have to be hand-to-hand combat action scene. Well, I mean, you all know the battle at the end of Avengers Endgame is crazy.
Me personally, I'd have to go Tombstone.
Tombstone.
That standoff.
That's a pull, man. I like that.
And the standoff at the creek.
Yeah.
When he says, "Hell's coming with me."
Ooh. Okay, that's good.
Or Doc Holliday when he's on the verge of death.
That's good,
out
man.
There and just wipes the floor with those guys to be there. Oh, that's like that gives me chills just thinking about it.
That's good,
when
man.
Doc Holliday showed up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. What about that bloody battle with Django when all those guys are surrounding him and he jumps through the hallway and and the girl flies backwards?
Yeah,
man, I love that scene. Django Unchained. That is one of my favorite action scenes.
Or at the end of the Two Towers when they're just getting swamped and then Gandalf shows up with the Knights of Rohan. Rohan.
Yes.
And just shines that beam of light. Oh,
yes, that's so good.
Are just like
yeah. Oh, that's great. There was one. Oh, well, I mean, you could pull anything from John Wick. Anything. The library, where they're throwing the knives at each other in the third one, he and Common's battle in the second one, the final fight scene in the first one. I mean, John Wick, a lot of great action scenes from John. Sam, what was the other good question that you found?
So another good question is it was the spinoff on the earlier question. If we could go back and watch it, they asked if you could go back and watch a show for the first time. Yeah. Oh, that's easy.
We'll make this the last one.
The Office. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
That every morning when I wake up, just because I love The Office. I like the characters. It's like you feel like you're a part of their family.
Yeah.
Like there's not many shows that you can go out there and say, "Wow,
yeah,
I'm emotionally attached to these characters."
Yeah.
And then like Burke and I were talking about last night how just the last episode, the season finale of The Office.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you watch it, it just hits home for you. Like you're so emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's just such a like good, feel good.
It is. And not knowing the outcome of Jim and Pam's relationship.
Exactly.
Would be awesome.
And then or just the outcome of just The Office in general, like them being at like Scranton, and you don't know how Dwight is doing as the manager.
That's a good one.
How his relationship and marriage is with Angela.
Yeah.
And you just want to it makes you want to know more and kind of just wish they hadn't ended it. But it was one of those endings like you begged for more, but you
understand why.
You understand why. It was about time. I mean, you're talking about 9 seasons, is it? It's 9 seasons.
It's 9 seasons, yeah. And not knowing who the boss was going to be, I think would have been really interesting to go back. Because I don't even remember my thought process when I was first watching it. Because I was just so like entertained.
Yeah.
Like the storylines were so shocking because I didn't know the outcome of any of the relationships. Here's one that I would say too, Breaking Bad. I would.
Okay, Breaking Bad.
Yeah. My first time watching Breaking Bad was a revolutionary experience. Like such a great experience. The Sopranos, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
Man, that's a good show. West Wing. Yeah, West Wing. Yeah, great. Oh, yeah, there's some good choices in here, guys. But I don't see any more super chats. So I think that's it for the day, guys. I think we ended on some great final few questions. I appreciate you guys so much for all of your comments and the live chats. Prison Break, that's a good one. We still got some great answers coming in for the last one. But hey, listen, we're gonna stay on for about 30 more seconds after we're done. I'll put some of your live chats up on the screen if you guys are saying bye and all this wonderful stuff. Hey, I appreciate you guys joining in today. I appreciate Sam for being here with me, helping out with the chat room and the super chat. We're doing some fun stuff on Patreon. We're going to transfer some of that stuff over to the YouTube channel. And I truly, guys, hey, let me know what time works best for you all. If you'd like later in the day, next week we'll go later in the day. And if you like this earlier, let me know. I appreciate everyone who came here and helped out, supplied some questions. It was so much fun, and I appreciate Sam for sitting there in that Chucky mask for 10 minutes at the beginning of the live stream. You guys are truly the best. Again, we're gonna come back next week, do another live stream, and I appreciate everybody. All right, we'll see you soon. Man, these people will love